The birth of Dionysus and the 12 days of Dionysus. In Orphic tradition, the Nativity, or Genethlia, of Dionysus is a deeply meaningful spiritual event. It is observed on the evening of December 24th and marks the beginning of 12 days dedicated to honoring Dionysus the Saviour. Each day is devoted not only to Dionysus, but also to one of the Olympian gods and their consorts, creating a cycle that celebrates the unity of the divine pantheon. The story of Dionysus is complex and centers on transformation. In Orphic lore, Dionysus is called the Twiceborn, or sometimes Thriceborn, because his myth involves several births and rebirths. These titles, Digonon or Trigonon, highlight the recurring themes of life, death, and renewal in his story. Dionysus's first birth takes place in the Underworld. Persephone, queen of the Underworld and daughter of Demeter, becomes the mother of the infant Zagreus after her union with Zefs, better known as Zeus, who approaches her in the form of a serpent, symbolizing transformation and mystery. This union is known as the first influence of Zefs. The serpent represents the blending of divine and earthly forces. From this meeting, Zagreus is born, a child with great potential and a significant destiny. Zefs, proud of his son, gives Zagreus a place of honor among the gods. He presents him with thunderbolts and a scepter, symbols of power, and names him as his successor. The gods witness this moment, seeing Zagreus as their future king. However, Ira, known as Hera, becomes jealous. She encourages the Titanes, ancient beings of great power, to act against Zagreus. Disguised with gypsum, they approach the child and offer him 7 magical toys, designed to distract him from his divine role. One of these toys, a mirror, especially attracts Zagreus. While he is fascinated by his reflection, the Titanes sees him. They tear his body apart, keeping his heart and limbs, in a ritual that reflects the cycles of destruction and rebirth found in nature. The Titanes then roast and eat the pieces of Zagreus. This act is both a violation and a transformation, as the divine essence cannot be completely destroyed. Zefs, realizing what has happened, acts quickly. He sends Athena, the goddess of wisdom, to save Zagreus' still beating heart. Athena secures the heart in a silver casket and brings it to Zefs. Meanwhile, Apollo, gathers the child's limbs and buries them at Mount Parnassus, a place known for prophecy and inspiration. In anger, Zefs strikes the Teutones with a thunderbolt, turning them to ashes. From these ashes, he creates the mortal races. Humans are thus born with immortal souls from Zagreus, but also with the flawed bodies of the Titans. This origin story explains the human cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, and the ongoing search for liberation from suffering. Despite this, Zefs shows compassion. He seeks a way to help mortals find redemption and spiritual awakening. Using the rescued heart of Zagreus, Zefs creates a powerful elixir. He gives this potion to Semele, the mortal daughter of Cosmos and Harmonia, who are themselves descended from Aphrodite and Ares. After drinking the potion, Semele becomes pregnant with Dionysus, leading to his second, miraculous birth. Semele's family background is rich in myth. Her mother, Harmonia, represents harmony, born from love and war, and her father, Cosmos, is known for founding Thebes. Dionysus is thus conceived from both mortal and divine heritage. Zefs, in love with Semele, promises to grant her any wish. Ira, still watchful, persuades Semele to ask Zefs to reveal himself in his true divine form. Bound by his promise, Zefs appears in his full glory, surrounded by lightning and thunder. Semele, being mortal, cannot survive the sight of Zefs's true form and is consumed by flames. However, ivy, sacred to Dionysus, grows around the unborn child, protecting him. Zefs rescues the infant Dionysus from the ashes of his mother and sews him into his own thigh, where Dionysus continues to grow until he is ready to be born again. This unusual birth marks Dionysus as a god of transformation and liberation, destined to reveal life's mysteries and help mortals break free from suffering. Dionysus, now called Dionysus Alephtaeus, the Liberator, emerges. His birth is seen as a promise of spiritual freedom and hope for those seeking to rise above mortal limitations. The second, or sometimes third, birth of Dionysus is celebrated on the evening of December 24th. This event is known as the second influence of Zefs, a time when the divine is believed to touch the world again, bringing renewal and transformation. The date of this celebration is not based on the Roman calendar, but on the Hellenic zodiacal mystic calendar, which follows cosmic rhythms and divine mysteries. The festival takes place on the fourth day of the fourth month of the mystic year, the month of Agacorus, or Capricorn, ruled by Hephaestus, the divine smith who represents the natural law of morph, or form. This timing highlights the connection between cosmic order and divine action. On this special day, the first appearance of the god in the world is honored. The rituals performed are meant to remember and invoke the ancient mysteries, connecting participants to the ongoing cycle of divine renewal. During the 12 days of Dionysus, hymns are recited and offerings are made not only to Dionysus Alephtaeus, but also to the Olympian deity and their consort for each day. The sequence is as follows: Aestia and Hephaestus on the 24th, Ares and Aphrodite on the 25th, Artemis and Apollon on the 26th, Hephaestus and Aestia on the 27th, Ira and Zefs on the 28th, Poseidon and Demeter on the 29th, Athena and Hermes on the 30th, Aphrodite and Ares on the 31st, Apollon and Artemis on January 1st, Hermes and Athena on January 2nd, Zefs and Ira on January 3rd, and Demeter and Poseidon on January 4th. Through these rituals, the story of Dionysus is remembered and renewed. All who take part are invited to begin their own journey of transformation, healing, and spiritual awakening.